Hey guys, Sword here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Diamond Select, Marvel Select, Beta Ray Bill, a long-awaited addition to the Overlord Productions family. Yes indeed, because those of you who know me well know that I love me some Beta Ray Bill, have almost all the action figure representations of this character because, well, unfortunately, unlike some characters who shall not be named, we don't get a lot of Beta Ray Bill action figures. And when Diamond Select announced that they were going to be putting this guy out, I was ecstatic. I was like, yes, another Beta Ray Bill. Surprisingly, not a classic one from Hasbro. I had plenty of opportunities to do one the past couple of years, but they just chose not to do it and made some other crap instead. So, with that being said, before we get into the meat and taters of this review, kindly moving the Norse horse out of the way because I don't think you guys know just how big this guy is unless you've seen other reviews. We'll get into that. Here's the front of the packaging, which is not collector friendly at all. You literally got to destroy this thing to open it. This little Thor's hammer and Disney logo down there. There is some amazing artwork of Beta Ray Bill on the side. Look at that. That's fierce. I want a poster of that. I want a tattoo of that. And there's a look at the back. Standard Diamond Select stuff there. And hasta la bye-bye. That was a good toss. Moving Beta back into frame here. This thing is quite the impressive figure with one major quality control issue on mine. We're going to get into that in a minute here. Excuse me. But that aside, this thing is definitely one of the tops of 2022 for me. No, I still haven't done that video yet, but it's my party and I'll cry if I want to. And if you didn't see the Panthro video, well, I used that line in that too. So, taking a look-see at Beta's accessories, which ain't much, unfortunately. We only get Stormbreaker. Not that piece of crap from the MCU, because Kevin Feige doesn't read comics. Really cool. A little warped. I'm going to have to straighten that, but it's cool. It's fine. Stormbreaker. That said, for those of you who want something a little bit more interesting, here's the swinging Stormbreaker. Like, holy sheet. Like, this thing is huge. And it actually gets smaller and smaller the more you go back. And then it kind of fades from the gold color to this clear blue at the end here. So that's really cool. It's hard plastic, though, so be careful with this. You don't want to break it. Can spin in his hand, too. But it looks awesome. It is fan-freaking-tastic. I'm glad we get this with Beta Ray Bill, because I have it with a Marvel Legends store, but I've never gotten it with anyone but that. I know Diamond Select was kind of the first to integrate that sort of effect piece, if you will, into the action figure game, but I kind of like the Hasbro Ragnarok, I think is the one that came with it. His actually spins on a separate peg, and all the hammers are detailed, but that's kind of not how it's drawn, so, you know, it is what it is. I think Beta's is fine, but I think the Hasbro one is a little bit more durable. That said, this thing is gorgeous. Like, look at this dude. He is ready to kick some ass. Like, this friggin' mohawk of his, if I can pan the camera up here, look at how freaking massive just that alone is. I mean, you could see my hands, like, lifting this figure, but we're going to do some comparisons to a couple of McFarlane Mega figures, just so you know how big this dude is. Just so you know what you're getting into when you pick up this guy on Amazon, because that's what I did, thankfully. So, you know, let's not beat around the bush. He's got a Tarna knee situation going on, and that freaking sucks. Like, look at that. That is terrible, man. Ah, what a bummer. So I got to go through the rigmarole with Amazon and get a replacement and have that ordered and then ship this one back and whatnot. But fingers crossed both hands. That one is good, and I don't have to swap any parts out or anything like that. And everything will be hunky-dory once that shows up. But that said, this guy is freaking badass. This dude is badass. Like, this guy, like I said, he's ready to kick all the ass. No, maybe not with this leg, but with that leg. And why don't we just look at his articulation? It's nothing impressive, really. He gets side to side in the head. He looks down. He looks up a little bit. Let's get a little bit of tilt. Shoulders go out to the side about that far. Back down. Rotate forward and back. He's got a bicep swivel. He's got rotation in the elbow. He's got a single elbow, which can give you, I think, 90 degrees. I think that's as far as it bends. Very tight on that. He's got a wrist swivel with a hinge. I didn't need to heat this guy, by the way. He moved okay out of the box. Now, one thing to note, his cape. These little silver, I don't know what you want to call these little silver circular pieces here. What are these? Seriously. Silver plates? I'll call them plates. These little silver plates here. You can actually pull these out and remove the cape and plug these back in with a soft goods cape if you have one. So that's pretty cool. I might have to give this guy a soft goods cape at some point. Because, I don't know, that'd be really cool. Because this cape is friggin' rock hard. You ain't doing shiznit with that. That said, as far as his torso articulation is concerned, he's got a little bit of forward and back, a little bit of lean side to side and rotation, but it's pretty much hindered by his cosmic suspenders here. So you're not going to be doing much with that. I will say he does have a waist cut, but it is fairly hindered due to this belt. You're not going to get a lot out of that. And it's pretty stiff out of the package, so you might want to eat that to get it to work a little better. I did originally think, whatever, he had one leg longer than the other. I thought the left leg, which is ironically the defective leg, I thought that was longer than the right leg, but I think it's just the belt is warped all to heck on mine and doesn't really sit where it's supposed to. So maybe with a little bit of heat I could fix that, but there's really no point if I'm replacing this guy right. That said, as far as his hips go, they can kick out, they can kick back down, kick forward and back. They're on like ball hips, which I guess can get pretty loose, which this side is definitely a little bit looser. But it's not that bad. It's okay. Nothing a little kikis can't fix, right? It does have a thigh cut that works fine. It doesn't feel gummy at all. It's fairly sturdy. But he's got a knee swivel as well, which I think works a little bit better. And then this is the knee hinge he's supposed to have. Listen to this. I mean, that is a knee hinge, dude. Holy crap. So, this side not having that at all until you get it to about there kind of sucks. Like, you can see why I got a problem with that. He also looks like he's pinless, too. I can't tell if he's got pins or not, but he seems pinless. That said, he does have a boot cut. He does have a hinge in the foot. Could be a little bit tighter, maybe. Then he does have a rocker joint with peg holes at the bottom of the feet. But he does not come with a stand. He does not come with a stand. He does not come with a alternate head without the mohawk, which I think is what I would have most preferred. A head without the mohawk, because I love this mohawk. I think it's awesome, but it seems a bit excessive. If it was like maybe half the size, I think it would look a little bit better. But that's just me being a, snob about character design, like I always am. If it's accurate to the source material, then it's accurate to the source material. There's nothing they can really do about it, But my Beta Ray Bill doesn't have a mohawk, but this thing's so fan-frickin-tastic. I don't even care that it has one. And it makes the head kind of easier to move, gives you something to hold on to. But getting him all situated here, why don't we give him his Mighty Storm Breaker, which can be easier said than done to actually get in his hand. kind of twisted in there. There he is with Stormbreaker. It looks so minuscule compared to him. And it looks like that's too small, but whatever, man. This figure's awesome. Definitely one of my tops of the year. I think he's fantastic. He's awesome. He's great. He's amazing. He's every nice thing you could say about a figure. Other than that knee being loose on mine, I have no qualms with this figure. I think it's great. I think if you're a Beta Ray Bill fan, you owe it to yourself to pick this guy up, because God knows when we're going to get another Beta Ray Bill. Especially from Hasbro, since they just keep making characters that I would have never asked for in a million years. So, with that being said, before this review drags out any longer than it already has, why don't we move right along and take a look at how this guy scales with a couple of McFarlane Toys Mega figures, just so you know the scope of just how massive this figure is. First up, and as promised, here is our Marvel Select, Diamond Select, whatever you want to call it, Select, Beta Ray Bill, alongside a couple of McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Mega figures, Mongol and Frankenstein. And for those of you who care, I did actually get a replacement Frankenstein, and everything is A-OK. Last we spoke of this figure, his arm was kind of jacked up on the right side, was it? I believe. So, panning the camera up so these guys aren't completely headless the whole time. While Beta Ray Bill isn't neck and neck with these guys, to the top of his mohawk, he is essentially the same height, which is kind of crazy because these are pretty massive figures in their own right, but Beta Ray Bill's giving them a good run for their money, if I do say so myself. And last, but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legions Brother Mandibulus, Lemon Spawn, who's not towering over everyone today, because if you hadn't guessed it by now, Beta Ray Bill is a freaking giant compared to most figures I look at on this channel, who good old Al Simmons here usually towers over, but not today, man. Not today. So, with that being said, time to wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from the quality control issues with the left leg on my figure, again, gonna rule that out as just a fluke with this particular figure and keep my fingers crossed that the replacement is much better. At the end of the day, I do still really enjoy having this guy in my collection. Being a big fan of Beta Ray Bill is kind of helping me from going full-blown Overlord Productions on this guy, because seriously, we do not get enough figures of Beta Ray Bill. It's kind of a shame considering we've gotten more figures of really stupid and lame characters as opposed to really awesome and amazing characters like Beta Ray Bill. I mean, seriously, how many derpy X-Men do we need? Like, seriously, from anybody. I don't think that many, but you guys might think differently, and that's your opinion, and that is 110% fine and dandy. But I'm the type of guy who likes really cool looking characters like Beta Ray Bill here. So the fact we got another Beta Ray Bill figure in the collection, Marvel Select, Marvel Legends or otherwise, is a definite win in my opinion. And if you're a fan of him like I am, this is a definite must-have for you, because clocking in at the $30 price point, not only does he give some of the best McFarlane Toys Mega figures a run for their money, he makes Hasbro look like a bunch of chumps charging $26 for a figure like Darwin. I mean, come on, you cannot argue that Hasbro is better when this guy clocks in at 30 bucks and Darwin is 26. There's just no comparison, because Diamond Select has to pay that Disney licensing fee too, you know. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you're so inclined, please feel free to do all the YouTube rigmarole, as well as hit me up over on Instagram at Overlord Productions. If you ever want to talk toys or anything in particular, is the #1 best way to get a hold of yours truly. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when... Why am I the one always getting the quality control issues, huh? Gonna be somebody else for a change? How about some of these guys who get all this crap for free? And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.